Today we're doing a special commentary of the making of the original Star Wars. So this is of Star Wars Episode 4, correct?
I don't know. What is it?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I guess they're just going to have to wait and see.
It is the story behind the making of Star Wars A New Hope. So let's get into it with our brand new theme song.
Y'all ready for this?
Welcome to the material. Yeah, put it to podcasting. Welcome to the material. Yeah, put it to podcast.
Yo, welcome to the Natural Habitat Podcast, everybody. My name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is PC30.
That was pretty sweet. That was a pretty sweet theme song.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joey Black for making that on the ones and twos. You actually used 3 vinyl record players, a mixer,
plus the Yaz flute.
and a Yaz. It's actually called Jizz Music.
Oh yeah.
You use the Jizz flute, which
Flute.
it's not as gay as it sounds. I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Got the gay out of the way. So
that's how you do it.
so yeah, that's a dope theme song, man.
Hell yeah.
You schooled
Thanks,
it.
bro.
You schooled it.
Doing my best, trying to get my fucking Mr. Williams on.
Yeah, you might we might hear it. We might hear it next week on Tuesday's episode. We might not.
Did you hear the news?
What is the news? Uh-oh.
Instant news break. We got a breaking news moment.
Breaking news coming in. Lay it on them, because I don't know what it is.
John Williams signed on to score the Indiana Jones 5 and the next Star Wars.
What? Are you for real?
For real, for real.
Holy shit. John Williams is out there making dreams come true.
Holy fucking shit, Jay, as he should.
Yeah,
right?
That's going to make the movie. That's going to complete the movie.
Yeah, that seals the deal for me. There is no other. You know, I think maybe if somebody stepped in and tried to conduct the Philharmonic Orchestra in a fucking John Williams manner, maybe it could be like, replayed, but definitely not recreated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there is nobody else.
It's not going to have
For
the
the
same
job.
feel at all.
Yeah, it definitely is not the same. I mean, like, we've heard other attempts and other things over the years and other branches that weren't main movies, and it was never the same, no matter what. If it wasn't, you could just always tell the difference. The enthusiasm is like completely lacking when it's not John Williams. So it's great.
All right. Well, I definitely agree with that. I think that we bring him up a lot, John Williams, and that's dope because I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that news until you just told me that he signed on to do those.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fresh, man. Because
he was all up in the air. He wasn't gonna do it. He wasn't sure if he was gonna do it.
Yeah. And we talk about it a lot, but people don't realize because it kind of like the music scores in a movie hit you subconsciously, where you're paying attention to the movie and the characters and the plot and everything that's going on and all the build-up.
All the way through.
Yeah, and it gives you certain feelings. It sets up scenes. So I think that's the only way it should be done with John Williams. When it comes to movies like that, you know what I mean? Or every movie. I think he should score every movie. I'm gonna go out and say it. That he should be in charge of scoring every movie ever made. When they re-release stuff on Blu-ray, it'll be digitally remastered with John Williams Orchestra. And I think that from now on, every movie made should be him. But that's just
Did you watch those videos on what it would look like if it was John Williams was conducting in the morning or whatever, like some video where he's like sitting around his house and he's like drinking his coffee and he's like fucking conducting pieces of every aspect of his day. He's just like still doing his thing. Super funny.
Yep.
It's like everything he does, he has like a fucking dramatic theme song to it, and like it's super funny.
See?
I imagine like.
So he's already always working. So he might as well always be working on a movie instead of conducting his fucking toast out of the toaster like a madman.
Well, as far as I know, there's going to be Star Wars for the rest of eternity now. So, I mean,
yeah, that's dope.
He'll never be out of work.
So,
that's for sure.
So we're here to celebrate. We both have our Star Wars shirts on,
Yep.
and we're ready to get down on this documentary. So you guys can watch it with us. It's called The Making of Star Wars 1977 documentary. It's on YouTube for free. And you could sync it up, watch it along with us, or just enjoy the audio. Do whatever you want. It's free country. You know what I mean? I'm not here to tell you how to take in this podcast. You already downloaded it and hit play, so my job is done. Everything else is extra credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you little fucking bring the apple for the teachers.
Whoa, calm down. That was mean. That was uncalled for. All right.
I put a fucking tack on your chair. You remember back in the day when you used to like twist two staples?
Yeah, I was just
together,
thinking about that.
And one would be sticking up no matter how it would land, and you'd throw it on people's seats. That was the shit.
Yep.
Shout out to all the assholes that used to do that.
Shout out to twisting two staples together.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The kids
Yeah.
need to do more of that. I'm gonna go teach my nephews today, actually.
Yep. And then I remember throwing pencils up in the ceiling
Yep.
and then just waiting for them to drop because they would drop eventually.
Telling people they drop their pockets,
Yep.
make them look for them.
Your epidermis is showing. We've gone through all this before.
Yep.
uh,
Fucking putting the kick me stickers on people and shit.
yeah, it's good. It's good fun because you're not being hateful. You're not being derogatory. You're not really hurting anybody's feelings. You're kind of picking on people. So there's a bullying aspect to it, but it's all fun. It's all fun and games with kids. You know what I mean? And I think that it helps you. It helps you kind of weed out the dicks from the regular people and not trust everybody. And it also helps you function in society. You know what I mean? To fuck around with each other as kids. Kids are too nice. The parents are like, don't do that. You can't do that. And they like make people apologize
Really,
for everything.
I think nowadays it's like fucking parents can't even tell the kids anything
Yeah, kids are bastards.
because kids will fucking manipulate this scenario and put you in jail.
Just put you in jail.
Yeah, that's all it is nowadays.
Done for. All right. Let's see. I'm going to share this screen over here so you could get in on this. You
You like Flynn?
want to get in on this? All right. Now, everybody out there that's watching with us, we are going to press play on this YouTube video in just a few seconds. I'm going to count it down. And the countdown starts with 3. 2 will be in the middle. 1 is at the end. And then I will play it on 0.
Hollywood, California.
Oops, I paused it.
Great fucking job.
I paused it. My bad. Okay, hold on. We're going to try this again. I'm backing it up to the beginning.
We're new.
Oops, I played it on accident. Okay, now I'm going to press play. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, now I'm just going to get away from it and not touch it.
Hopefully it loads fast.
Hollywood, California.
Already
August
skipped.
1977. A triumphant moment in screen history. To the world-famous Chinese theater come the stars of the biggest box office success in motion picture history.
R2-D2, hurry up. Everyone's waiting for you.
C-3PO and R2-D2 are reunited for the first time since their epical appearance in Star Wars.
Superstar.
Right?
These guys had no idea. Like, this probably seemed kind of big at that time. They had
Thousands
no
are gathered to see
idea.
the metallic
They were taking
megastars
over
place
the
their
entire
footprints
fucking
in
planet.
cement in the theater's courtyard. As the two heroes of Star Wars make their indelible impressions on the ground reserved for Movieland's legends, the world resounds with the fact that Star Wars itself has become a full-fledged social phenomenon. It has become more than just a movie. Also to be honored this eventful day, Star Wars Villain.
Oh no, it's Darth Vader.
Gucci.
Just imagine that, R2. This is the strangest planet we ever visited. Oh, I can't bear it anymore. Turn the dial. Quickly, get rid of him at once. How can they do that, R2? That dreadful man putting his name right next to ours. Oh, how did this whole thing start? I really don't know.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
You're quite right, R2. It has happened too quickly. All that suffering. It is time we sorted it all out. Do you think your memory bank is up to it?
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, a starship is boarded by Imperial stormtroopers. Their leader, Darth Vader, master of evil, and the Galactic Empire's most feared agent. The plans Darth Vader seeks are entrusted
We need this
to
guy
two
to
robots,
fucking
C-3PO and R2-D2
narrate our
for
show.
delivery to an
Right?
heroic night on a
If this guy
far-off
said,
planet.
"Welcome to the Natural Habitat Podcast," or like space dramatic like this, holy shit, Jay!
After the robots escape from the starship, the rebel leader, Princess Leia, is captured.
Darth Vader. Only you could be so bold.
I want to know what happened to the plans they sent you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor.
Narrated by William Conrad.
He's got crazy old school voice.
It's much
Man,
more
look at
fun
that
looking at
station.
it this way. It was rather too exciting at the time, wasn't it, R2?
He created the role of Matt Dillon in the radio
Don't get
version of
technical with me,
Gunsmoke.
R2.
That's
Just hurry
dope.
up
So
and
he's an
tell
old
everyone
radio
how the film
actor.
was really made.
Nice, yeah.
It's all sideways and shit, all crooked. That's dope.
Making of Star Wars.
As told by C-3PO.
C-3PO and R2-D2.
So that's dope that they do it this way. It's like they filmed it as an actual movie. Everybody's in character.
A rehearsal for
No,
one of
I guess
Star
they're
Wars'
doing
most
some behind the scenes
exciting
stuff now, but
Yeah, it looks like they filmed the documentary as they were filming the movie.
yeah. And they came out the same year.
Stop that, R2.
The first one came
It's
out in
not very nice
77,
to show
right?
our friends looking so silly.
Yeah.
Besides, you really must begin at the beginning. Now just behave yourself, R2. Don't be so stubborn. You know perfectly well where it began. It began with Mr. Lucas.
Oh shit. Here comes Jorge.
George Lucas, 33 years old, writer and director of Star Wars. His first feature film for Warner Brothers, THX 1138, also science fiction, but of a very different kind. His second, Universal's American Graffiti, which recalled his adolescent years in a small town in California.
Damn.
That's dope.
His third film, the phenomenally successful Star Wars, which he wrote far from Hollywood at his home in Northern California.
What a fucking phenom.
I think one of the key factors in the success is that it's a positive film. It has heroes and villains, and that it essentially is a fun movie to watch. It's been a long time since people have been able to go to the movies and see a sort of straightforward, wholesome, fun adventure.
Fuck yeah, that's dope.
In Star Wars, Lucas wanted to recapture the spirit of romance and adventure he found in the movies of the past. The kind of films that ran endlessly on television when he was growing up.
I'd watch that old pirate movie. Looks dope.
Oh yeah.
It's a good effort, Capitan. The next will be better, my fancy clown.
In making his space adventure, Lucas set out to give young people another kind of fantasy world. the kind he derived from watching westerns and old Flash Gordon serial.
Flash.
Flash who?
Forces have you surrounded, Tarkov. They will attack if you do not surrender immediately.
Well, there they are.
I'll be seeing you, boys.
Huh.
I'll be seeing you, boys. There you go.
He's leaving.
Look him up.
He's the flying squirrel.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a wingsuit. Okay, you think just open the window?
Luke Skywalker,
Yeah.
the young hero of Star Wars, is a direct
Aliens are so
descendant of
smart, they
Flash
come
Gordon,
all the way here, but
as
they're
he
so
evolved
dumb that
from
they just
script
open the
to
window. Yeah,
storyboard
right.
to
Yep.
actor in the person of
They're like, what
25-year-old
was that?
Mark Hamill. Luke became a projection of every young boy's adventurous spirit.
Hell
For
yeah.
director-writer George Lucas, Luke was something of an alter ego. In the film, Luke enlists the aid of a wise and virtuous man, part warrior, part mystic, and the last survivor of a knightly order called the Jedi. His name, Obi-Wan Ben Kenobi. He is portrayed in the film by the distinguished British actor Sir Alec Guinness.
Hear the music?
Mm-hmm.
For their adventures, Luke and old Ben must ally
This music
themselves
could have
with a
easily been
mercenary
music
space
from
pirate,
like a
the
fucking
cynical Han
King
Solo,
Arthur's
played
time
by
movie.
Harrison Ford. For their journeys, they need Solo's space freighter, which comes with a most unusual co-pilot, Chewbacca, the Wookiee.
The Wookiee.
With the two robots, this foursome will attempt to rescue a princess. As played by Carrie Fisher, this princess is royalty of a very liberated kind.
Governor Tarkin, I should have expected to find you holding Vader's leash. I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board.
Charming to the last.
The villain and chief nemesis, Darth Vader.
Damn.
Even in early production sketches,
Those
Darth Vader
renditions are
emerged
crazy.
as a crown prince of evil. Sound effects editors added a final touch to his villainy.
Wait a minute, R2. You may think you know what you're doing, but you have to be careful. Oh! R2-D2, come back at
You're
once.
laughing.
What's the matter, R2? It's all right, R2. Oh, that stupid machine. I don't know what he'd do without me. You needn't worry. I'll take care of it. It's all right, R2. You can come out now. He's gone. Come and see for yourself. He's not here. Now, really, R2, if you're not careful, you'll overwork your circuits.
Man, it's so crazy that this is like right at the beginning of the launch of
You
a
needn't
fucking
fret. Darth
empire.
Vader has gone.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to say. Is like,
Yeah.
You must
none of them
concentrate and stick
knew
to
how
the story.
big it was going to be, dude. None of them had a clue. There was no way to project something like
Yeah,
that.
everybody's young,
could have,
just making a movie.
Yeah, you could have hoped for it to have done well, but never
Tunisia,
as
North
well
Africa.
as it did.
Here,
You know,
George
when it,
Lucas and
if
a
you look
film
at the
crew of
numbers,
130
it wasn't
people from
like the
England to the
biggest hit in the
United
world
States
when it came out,
recreated the
but
planet of
it
Tatooine,
steadily grew
a
from the time
strange
it
world
came
where
out
the robots
to the time it
landed after their
became a
escape
cult
from the Imperial
classic.
forces.
Yeah.
Then by the time that it came back, when it came back in the 90s or the 2000s or
To
whatever
create
it
the
was,
world of Tatooine,
fucking, it was the
cargo
biggest movie in the
planes
world.
and oversized trans-European moving
And then
vans
it
brought
just happened
thousands
again
of
on the
pieces
newest
of
cycle with
equipment
The
and
Force
products
Awakens.
to the remote
Yeah.
Indonesian desert.
And it beat
Construction
everything.
crews worked for 2 months to build the dwellings and towns.
But it still
with
hasn't
exotic
beat Avatar internationally. Internationally, it's ranked number 2.
Yeah. It seems like in the States, every new movie that comes out beats the last movie.
Robots. Or
No,
droids,
not
as they're
necessarily.
called in the
It
film.
didn't happen until
25 different models of them.
Jurassic Park. This is the type of shit that made
That's dope.
all the live puppetry, all like the real machines, the 3D hands-on thing.
Yeah. And I was watching some interview with George Lucas
It is on Tatooine
recently,
that the robots
old George
C-3PO
Lucas,
and R2-D2
and he was talking about how he thinks that that's why people relate to it so well, is that everything is real, everything's tangible, and like
100%.
all the characters, all the robots, all the droids, everything is like an actual thing. And as we're looking at it right now, like all these little fucking robots are crawling around. When they were standing on top of that hilltop, Luke and Obi-Wan and C-3PO, they were standing next to some fucking floating car that looked like it was floating. You know what I mean? Like, and this wasn't in like the post-production. This is just some guy with a camera filming a documentary. You can't say sand people anymore.
Who says it?
I just said.
There, R2. Calm down. You must try to get a hold of yourself. Look at me. Scrap merchants aren't exactly my favorite people either.
What did he say?
Scrap merchants aren't my favorite people either.
There certainly were a lot of very strange creatures out there in the desert.
Animal, vegetable, or mineral. The early production drawings of the Sand People don't specify. George Lucas imagined them as ferocious nomads, and ferocious is what they turned out to be, as demonstrated in this scene photographed on location.
Ah.
No one didn't look very dangerous, did it? But just see how exciting it looks in the completed film.
Well, there are two banthas down there, but I don't see any... Wait a second. They're sand people, all right. I can see one of them now.
So cool, all the tech, everything they have. And the crazy thing is how much stuff they got right.
Yeah.
How much stuff that was backed by like some type of science or
Sir
like a
Alec
future
Guinness, a night
science
playing a night,
speculated on,
brought
you know
to
what
the
I mean,
Star
about,
Wars
like,
set
how
a theatrical
their like
tradition
real
that
propulsion
inspired
worked,
the
how
youthful
like everything
production
really
company.
worked. Like this guy's a fucking genius.
In
He
this,
put
his
like a
first
lot of
appearance
thought,
as Obi-Wan
like super
Ben Kenobi,
thought
he
into this.
rescues Luke Skywalker
Created
from
a
the Sand
fucking
People.
universe.
Yeah, a whole universe, not just a planet.
Yeah, I mean like it takes so
It is
much
now
in
that
depth
R2-D2
thinking
discovers
to
that
like
Obi-Wan
come
is
up
the
with
man to whom he must deliver the
planets
secret
and their
message.
atmospheres and why they are the way they are, why like
The message cannot be
where they
delivered
are,
until
how
a
people get
damaged
from
friend
one
has
place
been
to
repaired.
the next,
Yeah. And
what type of fucking propulsion systems and ships that they use, you know, like all the information that they used to back the shit up ended up being similar, even plasma fucking weapons and
I always like to hear Obi-Wan talking.
swords and shit, you know, like all that shit was really close to how it would actually work, and I don't have no fucking idea how he did it.
it's crazy, man. It's like
A young Jedi named Darth Vader. He was a pupil
it takes
of mine until he turned to evil.
he put like
The Empire
an unbelievable
down and
amount of
destroy
work
the
into the
Jedi
universe. And like you were saying, it takes a lot to imagine up all these different places and atmospheres and how you travel to them and all these different types of ships and fucking
Vader was seduced
there's like
by
a
the
map
dark
of
side the Force.
they show it in The Force Awakens, the map of the universe. You know what I mean?
It's an energy field created
And
by all living things.
it's fucking a trip. They show it a lot in the Clone Wars too.
Binds the
And
galaxy together.
there's like all these different sections and areas and quadrants. Like you got to go downtown Yeah, we got to go over to Chicago, and it's like across the fucking asteroid belt. And he went like super deep. I have a book that's like the encyclopedic history of Star Wars, and everybody has names. Everybody has like a home planet. Everybody, yeah, it's crazy.
Everything, yeah, it's crazy.
My favorite characters are Flagrant Dan and the Modal Nodes, which is the band in the cantina that plays the famous Cantina song.
Nice.
That is our new theme song.
Flagrant Dan.
Flagrant Dan, and his name's like D''A''N, so it's DeAnn. Flagrant DeAnn.
Flagrant Dan.
DeAnn and the Modal Nodes.
Maybe it's Deanne.
Deanne. But I've always heard it pronounced Dan, so.
Deanne?
Dan.
Deanne?
Dan. Dan.
Deanne?
If YES spells yes, then what does D''AN spell? Yes.
Yes.
Ass. Spells ass.
Yes, R2, I was very glad to leave Tunisia, because then we went to film in the studios in England, which were much nicer.
Oh, went to England.
Cool metaphor, right? They just told you where they really filmed that, in Tunisia.
Yeah.
For fucking Tatooine and shit, or whatever. And then
In fact, Han
they show the
Solo's
fucking
space freighter, the Millennium Falcon,
Millennium
was Star
Falcon leaving
Wars'
that
most
planet
elaborate
and going
set.
to the next place.
And they were like,
It
off
was
to
constructed
England.
on one of the 9 sound stages the company used at the Elstree Studios outside London.
I wonder if this fool has this shit like in a garage somewhere. The original Millennium Falcon just like has it in some warehouse where he just plays Star Wars all the time.
And just fucking sits in it all like, pew,
Yeah,
pew.
guarantee you
Nailed to
that.
the floor of the sound
He
stage,
like has his wife.
the mock-up of the Falcon
Somebody put on
remains
some Chewbacca
strangely
suit. He's like, come on,
earthbound.
Chewie.
Later on the screen, it will appear to hurtle through the vastness of space.
Action! Can't you outrun him? I thought you said this thing was fast.
Watch your mouth, kid. You're gonna find yourself floating.
For all of its sophistication as a set, the motion of the Falcon is generated by a few stagehands.
Okay, cut. 559, take 2. Action!
Hell yeah, dude.
Can't you
So
outrun him? I
cool.
thought you said this thing was fast.
Harrison Ford,
Right.
who pilots the Falcon, worked with Lucas in American Graffiti. He played a similar role of a man obsessed by speed and ego.
I've never seen American Graffiti. I didn't know that George Lucas did it.
I ain't nobody, dork.
I've always heard about it.
Right. Hey, you see this Milner, you tell him I'm looking for him, huh?
Ain't he neat?
In fact, a lot of the elements of Han
What
Solo
a fucking
are
guy.
like Bob Falfa. And
How his career just fucking
but I don't.
carried by George
I hope
Lucas.
they're not
Yeah.
the same.
Indiana
person.
Jones,
He
American
owes-
Graffiti, Star Wars. Fuck,
The jump
dude,
to
that's like
hyperspace is like
Yeah, he owes everything to George Lucas.
it's like the drag racing in
8
American
movies
Graffiti.
or some shit.
Is that Mark Hamill?
Yeah. I know.
Chewbacca. Chewbacca is the Wookiee. He's 200 years old, and I don't know if this ever comes out in the picture, but he is 200 years old. He's capable of flying this spaceship. And,
God, so is the
capable of
actor that plays
understanding
him.
his language. I related
Yeah,
to him
yeah.
as if he were a special kind of dog.
But he did play
I thought kids would find him
half
real
the role
frightening.
in the new
So I
film
wanted a
too.
relationship with him that would imply
He
trust
had
and
a
equality.
double that would do like the walking around parts,
The Wookiee
Yeah.
actually came from.
but when he was
my
just
dog,
like in one place or
Indiana,
whatever,
who is a big,
talking or
Malamute,
whatever, it
very
would be
large,
like the
furry
original
dog.
guy.
Looks a lot like the Wookiee, only slightly smaller.
Of course, R2. Everybody misses
So he
the
based the
Wookiee.
Wookiee off his
He was
dog?
such an interesting character. But remember how he used to cheat at chess?
Aboard the Falcon, en route to rescue the princess, the Wookiee and R2 play an unusual game with holographic chess pieces.
Now be careful, R2.
The chess pieces are actually rubber figures wired with movable joints. Using stop-action photography, every movement of the creatures is filmed one frame at a time. When played back, the creatures come to life in continuous motion. They are then added to the chessboard.
You made a fair move. Screaming about it can't help you.
Let him have it. It's not wise to upset a Wookiee.
But, sir, nobody worries about upsetting a droid.
It's because a droid don't pull people's arms out of their sockets when they lose. Wookiees are known to do that.
I see your point, sir. I suggest a new strategy, Arthur. Let the Wookiee win.
That's dope.
Hell yeah.
What did he
Everything
say?
was so sick. Fuck,
He
man.
misses us too.
I wish I had like an unlimited amount of money, and I would just like build my house like a fucking Millennium Falcon or like
special photographic
Right?
effects
some type of Star Wars shit. My whole house
more
would
than
look
in
like
any
that,
other
but
movie.
it would all,
Imagine like
light up,
Each
switches,
effect
fucking
element
everything,
was
all
shot
kinds of like
separately,
trick
then
doors,
added to the live.
slide up and down
Even
movements,
the
and
laser
fucking,
beam of
you know,
Luke's
fucking
sword was
like the
optically
fog would
imprinted
come out
into
when
the
you'd go
scene.
through and shit, and like I don't
Other
know, dude,
elements
all
like the
kinds of shit,
chess set
random
and
lightsabers in
were added
places,
in the
so you
scene.
could have fucking sword fights anywhere in the house.
just grab them.
Remember, a Jedi can feel the Force flowing through him.
You mean he controls your actions?
Partially.
It's like imagine
He also obeys your
imagine like
commands.
being a teenager in the 70s and going and seeing this movie in the theater and being able to ride like the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Vital element in Star Wars.
It changed everybody's life.
Sort of boiling down.
This is what set
into a very
everything in
basic
motion.
Concept.
Yeah. And it's like
The fact that there is some.
I saw a guy when I went
deity
and
or
saw
some
The Force
power or
Awakens.
some
It was cool because I saw
force
The Force
that sort of
Awakens like the
controls our
night before it
destiny.
came out. They started
Or,
screening it, and it was the first show.
works for good and also
And
works
I
for
got my
evil.
ticket like hella
It's,
early.
always
We
been
went
very
to
basic
it,
in mankind.
so I saw like the first screening, and it was like part of. I was like part of history. You know what I mean? And it was super dope. And there was this guy that was in front of us, and he was dressed in a full stormtrooper outfit, and he had two kids, like two sons, that were all dressed up like Jedis in like cloaks and shit. They both had lightsabers. Dude had his blaster, and they came and like sat down. And it was the dude. The dude had like grown up watching Star Wars. He saw the first one when he was a kid, and then this is the first one that his kids went to the theater and saw. So it was like he was kind of like reliving his childhood through his kids,
Very pleasant, R2.
and they were like super into it and all geeked out. So
Of course I care about
it's just
upsetting
like it's a
fellow
crazy
droid.
thing, you know what I
But we
mean?
can't stop
Yeah,
now.
it's
We
going
must get on with our journey
generational
aboard the
now. It's
Millennium
like
Yeah.
being handed down and shit.
It's
pretty
like
neat.
it's part of American history.
The Falcon, in which the intrepid adventurers are traveling, is in fact a model. Designed and built by a Hollywood special effects house, it is photographed by a computer-controlled camera. By photographing the model against a blue screen, it will later be possible to add different backgrounds and other moving objects to the scene.
It's so
This
dope
can be
looking.
done by means of double and triple exposures. The work is painstaking and precise. It is an endeavor where details count. Scenes filmed on the London sound stages will also be integrated with the model shots made in California. To achieve this, the actors must also be filmed against a blue screen.
Tell anybody about us.
In the Falcon cockpit, the actors play out their terror at being caught in a magnetic pull exerted by a yet unpictured Death Star.
It's too big for a space station.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
Turn the ship around.
That's no moon.
I think you're right.
That's your mother.
In order to complete the scene, it is necessary to generate what the special effects people call mats.
It's pulling us in.
They permit the separate elements to be printed one at a time. In
can't
this
say
case,
very.
the actors, the graphic of the Death Star,
That's not the line.
and a star field.
What is it?
When finally combined, the star field,
got
the
a bad
Death Star
feeling.
graphic, the model, and the actors
Did he say
filmed
I got a
on
very
stage
bad feeling about this?
contribute to the creation of a dramatic sequence.
Oh yeah, they changed it, huh? With the Mandela effect. Isn't that one of them?
Search it up. No. It says it in every one.
Yeah, I know that he says it in every one, but is it true that he used to say, I got a bad feeling about this, and then it changed to, I got a very bad feeling about this?
Another technological achievement
I don't know.
was the creation of 33 fully operative robots.
I'm going to look it up.
R2-D2 was the crowning achievement of these mechanical creatures. An achievement of another kind was the creation of the more human-like droid C-3PO. He and his companion became both dream and nightmare to their creator, George Lucas.
When I started writing this, I found the most intriguing thing was to take two robots and make them into human beings and make them the most interesting characters in terms of the comedy element and the I wanted to make the film around them, use them as a framework for the film. And I knew when I did that I would be getting myself into a lot of trouble.
So I know what it is. I looked it up. I looked it up, and what changed was Darth Vader's famous line when he says, "Luke, I am your father." Apparently now he says, "No, I am your father," instead of "Luke, I am your father." That's kind of weird, right?
And in the Star Wars location where each day could cost
You don't believe it?
$100,000.
It's true. That's what he says.
For his creations,
not real.
be tempered with impatience.
How's that for ingratitude, R2? Where would he be without us? Come to think of it, where would any of them be without us? You're quite right, R2. They'd still be in the garbage crusher, wouldn't they?
I got a bad feeling about this.
The walls are moving.
Just stand there and try and brace it with something.
Yep, it changed.
Wait a minute. 3PO! Come here, 3PO! One thing's for sure, we're all gonna be a lot thinner. 3PO! Shut down all the garbage mashers on the detention level, will ya? Do you copy? Shut down all the garbage mashers on the detention level!
I'm glad we weren't in that scene, R2. I think you would have got a bit rusty. No, I wouldn't have.
Cool job.
Gold doesn't rust. But I must say
Nice
the
robot.
pluckiest of the lot was the princess.
Nice robot joke.
Carrie Fisher is Princess Leia. Born to show business, she is the daughter of Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher.
Playing the role of Princess Leia was fun a lot of times. Well, it wasn't
Unrecognizable.
fun all the time. After about 2 hours in the garbage room, the fun started to wear off and your skin started to wrinkle and your rubber suit didn't fit right anymore. But we had a good time. When we did the swing across, it would have been fun if we'd been allowed to do it a second time. But it was like doing the upside down roller coaster. We did it one time and it was scary. And then if we'd gotten to do it again, it would have been fun. But they didn't let us do it again.
Here, hold this.
The daring swing was frightening because it actually took place 30 feet above the floor of the studio. But But not all of Star Wars' towering scenes were filmed at dizzying
They really
heights.
fucking swung over that shit.
Here, Obi-Wan attempts to turn off the magnetic beam which prevents the Falcon from escaping the Death Star. He is only 6 feet off the stage floor. In the final film, he will appear to be 100 feet off the floor.
That's how they get
Guinness talks
Wesley
about playing his
Snipes
role in this kind
and
of
Sylvester
special effects
Stallone
film.
to look so tall.
What, shooting from?
Yeah, shooting from the bottom.
Psychologically,
And they make it look like they're 100 feet from the ground.
there's a bit of magic about it.
The camera adds
I
like
just trust
a
the
lot.
volume.
You know, the camera
The
adds
camera.
weight to people,
And the backgrounds
different
pulled
angles
about
at
the
height. You
To
know,
match the
like,
director's
the
concept
camera
for
can
this
easily
scene,
manipulate.
without actually
Yeah, I remember a
filming
long
it,
time ago I found out that
the filmmakers resort
that
to
Wesley
what is
Snipes,
called
they
a
use like
glass
a
painting shot.
like a upward shot
Thousands of
camera
miles
all
from
the
the
time
stage
on him, and he always has on like
Paints a background
platform
of
shoes.
glass that will later surround the scene in
And he's also like standing on like raised platforms with other people too,
a blank spot is left on the
because
glass painting for
he's
the
always
live-action
like he'll play
scene
like the main
on the
character
stage.
and like the hero or like the main guy, and then he'll just be all tiny, so they have to make him bigger than
The
everybody
scene
else.
with Alec Guinness
Same
will
with
be
Sylvester
incorporated
Stallone.
within it.
Apparently he's hella short.
The final effect is a masterful illusion.
What are they doing?
They took the floor out. It's crazy. It's cool how they're like showing everything.
Making Star Wars was a lot like
Damn,
a movie.
she's
You
hot.
never knew what was going to happen next.
For 10 long weeks, the Star Wars company labored on the suburban London sound stages, bringing to life a film that had begun as an idea with George Lucas 3 years before. For Lucas, these 10 weeks were pressure-laden as he struggled to keep the 130-member company on schedule. For the actors, it is both a time of excitement and tedium. To outsiders, the filmmaking world looks to be a fun-filled, glamorous environment. It is actually a workaday world of detail and repetition.
It's times like this that I really feel like shutting down. Well, it's also boring waiting around for the technicians and the director to get everything ready. Sometimes they treat actors just like droids.
It's like
What do you mean?
you guys are a part of history and you're making a bunch of money, so stop
You never
bitching
even
about
read the
being
script.
bored.
Come to think of it.
Well, no, I'm sure like
Getting paid for sitting around.
I'm sure a lot of like
The cast of Star Wars
movies,
makes an
stuff
18th
like that,
attempt to escape
have
from the
like
Death
crazy,
Star.
boring processes where at times like they probably don't do shit.
Yeah.
They're just standing around. Like there's so much things involved with like making sure that you stay along like the movie's timeline and
Yeah.
you know there's like a huge process to like making sure that you know things go the way they're supposed to go, and all that stuff takes the most time. The acting takes like the least amount of time.
The mic was in picture.
The mic was in the picture.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, yeah.
So now they gotta do it again.
Print it and burn it.
If the mic was green, wouldn't
The
matter.
stormtroopers who police the Death Star.
Another thing that's
must
crazy
also be
about this
filmed
is
for the
that
climactic escape sequence.
they're filming this all on film.
Here they prepare to witness the fateful duel between Obi-Wan
Like,
and Darth Vader.
That's crazy. And I have Michelle has one of the film cells from the original master copy.
Not trying to spoil anything, but they filmed a new one on film too.
Really?
Yep.
I've been waiting
That's just
for
how he
you,
does it?
Obi-Wan. We meet again at last. The circle is now complete. When I left
Still
you,
get
I was
the
but the
same
learner.
effect.
Now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, Darth.
Again, special effects were used to heighten the action in the scene.
Oops.
Alec Guinness enters carrying only the hilt of his sword. he is given a second sword made of special light-reflecting material. When this sword is turned to the light, the reflection will appear to be the laser beam. However, for a more dramatic effect, an animated glow is added to the laser sword.
Nice.
Flashes of color are also printed in to enhance the scene. Sound effects add another dimension to the drama.
I remember when smartphones first became a thing, and like everybody was getting smartphones. One of the first coolest apps that I got on my phone was a lightsaber.
Another angle of this climactic moment is
And you could like change your hill, change the color, and then when you move your phone around, it made the noise.
substituted. For this scene, Lucas and his technicians are
And it's
trying
dumb
to
as hell,
achieve
but I
a
remember I was
difficult
geeked on
mechanical
it.
effect on the set.
Super geeked.
Yeah.
Severed, but it all came
That shit's real.
The scene is not working. Lucas will later make the decision to enhance this scene with an optical effect. The many angles and shots that make up the daring escape from the Death Star are finally realized in this scene from the film.
It's only that music if you don't have it.
What?
You think that's a possibility? No.
I didn't hear what you asked.
If they'd have the music going at the same time while they're acting.
They might. I don't think so.
I thought our troubles
They
were
could.
over when we got away from the Death Star.
Give them that extra oomph in their acting.
Watch the
Like, make it
dogfight.
more dramatic.
Oh, how
Mhm.
you do ramble on. You only want to see that because you have such a big part in it. Honestly, Artu, sometimes I think success has gone to your wiring. You haven't been the same since the film opened. Well, at least I can answer my own fan mail, which is more than you can do.
Damn. They're having some sort of diva fight right now?
Stage in England, the Star Wars company prepares to shoot the climax of R2's incredible
C-3PO and
adventure,
R2?
one he embarks upon with Luke Skywalker.
That's their thing.
Yeah, but it was about how they're famous.
They are.
The rebel forces are about to launch an aerial attack
They are.
against the Death Star. The secret message that R2 has brought back is used to help plan the raid.
Boy, he's a great pilot.
Thank you, sir. I'll try.
I gotta get aboard. We'll hear all your stories when we get back, all right? Hey, Big.
The adventure sought by Luke Skywalker, the farm boy from Tatooine, is about to reach its most dangerous moment. For the first time since leaving home, he is on his own.
The character of Luke Skywalker is the one sounding board you have. And like Dorothy in Wizard of Oz or Jack Hawkins in Treasure Island, there's that one character that people look to see the reactions to everything else. He's very simple, very naive, very straightforward. He's that classic character in
Look at that
literature
beautiful
that
fuck.
doesn't want to stay on the farm, that wants to see what's beyond, get off the farm and go have a little adventure.
Free oxygen?
Say what?
The adventure into which Luke Skywalker is thrust is derived from World War II.
Was it in like a car accident?
shown in Hollywood
And he had a scar on his face or something and it happened like after the first movie or like during the second or something?
For the space-age dogfight, detailed models are used. With the computer controls developed especially for Star Wars, it was possible to film the elements for this sequence with a freedom never before exercised in motion picture production. By controlling
It's
the
like
motion
the
of the camera
original
and
fucking
by
green screen.
remembering those motions, the computer allows for more complex and visually dynamic photography.
Yeah, didn't we found something else out about this
Again,
before.
the models are photographed against blue screen to allow for the placement of other elements.
That they were they switched it up by
The surface of
having the
Death
green
Star,
screen
until now seen only as a
and having the camera move on a robotic arm instead of having the model move.
To effect attacks on the model by the rebel planes, explosions are sometimes triggered by primitive
Yeah,
mechanisms.
something like that.
Similarly, the miniature planes are wired with small charges.
Whoa.
Nice. How fun is that job?
Right?
It took 2 years
They just get to
and
build little
$3.5
spaceships and blow them up.
million to do the Star Wars miniature and optical effects.
They're
Damn.
like grown-up kids, professional grown-up kids.
Professional
This
grown-up
camera
kids.
provides a pilot's eye view of an attack on the Death Star.
It's like knocking shit over.
Thousands of hours are devoted to collecting all the elements necessary for the final sequence.
Man, that's so dope.
Oh, my poor circuits. It's all so very complicated. I don't see how they ever put all this together. Well, really, R2. Of course we all want to see how it worked out.
That's so pimp. It's dope how they show all their secrets of their filming, and they're like, look, you can go ahead and steal our shit if you want, but you're gonna need to have the time, the money, the dedication, and the love and geeked out, like the geekness for it. I don't know what word to use there. And if you have that, then you deserve it. If you can fucking make it all, but good luck.
In the modern world, success can't be confined.
Yeah, there's not gonna be like
It spills over
another.
into every area.
Yeah, you
I
can't
think
just.
the closest thing to George Lucas is fucking J.K. Rowling with fucking Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that has any comparison. And she's created mini universes, so like that's pretty close. But nobody else has done it anywhere near Star Wars. I don't think we'll have another one. There's no way to really top it. You know what I mean? Like, where do you go from here? You know, like we've been in every universe. We've been all terrestrial. We've been in the sea. We've been in the air. We've been in space now. You know what I mean? We've gone back in time. You know, we've gone to the future. Been the parallel universes. You know what I mean? We've been the fucking superheroes. We've been to the anti-heroes. We've been the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not really like, if you try to think about where do we go from here, there's not a whole lot to go to. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be a creative fucking genius.
Yeah.
Like this guy was. People had already been in space and shit before, but nobody took it to this level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like somebody eventually, hopefully in our lifetime, will pop up with that next thing. Avatar tried, but you know it wasn't really quite the same. Even though they are supposed to make more, I guess. But I mean, I don't know, man. The way that Star Wars worked out, people are still hungry for this type of shit. So if somebody came up with the right thing, you know, like with the Harry Potter resurgence, look at that, you know, like look, it's having the same thing. They got Universal's turned into Harry Potter lands and shit, and they got fucking, you know, another movie coming out now, and they got a whole nother whole completely different line of like new witch story about like fucking ones that train ancient animals and shit, you know. So like there's like a whole different line of like witchcraft schools in America coming now, I guess, and like, you know what I mean. So it's like everybody's still hungry for this shit.
Yeah.
Just need to find what's next. What is next? What do you think would be next?
Shit, I don't know, man. It's like it takes we're gonna be done with this. They're just kind of signing off right now. There's only a couple minutes left. But you know, I can't make that idea right now off the top of my head. But you know, I think that whatever it is that comes next, it has to be something that is a new take on something that's already been done. You know what I mean? Like a brand new, because that's kind of what Star Wars is, and what happened with that is it was just a brand new take of the space genre.
Yeah, it's like a fucking, like he said, like a mix of like spaghetti westerns and fucking pirate movies and war movies, dramatic live action role movies mixed with like fantasy. So yeah, it works in that sense. Plus it's a kids movie, and that's I think that's the rarest aspect of it, is like the fact that the kids movie could turn into what it turned into.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part, that would never happen. In any other scenario, that would never happen.
Yeah, there's a bunch of amazing kids movies that, you know, are well made, super fresh, and a lot of work and money goes into, but nothing catches on like Star Wars. Star Wars was definitely its own thing, and you know, I think that one of the main reasons why they do these making of things is that it gives people ideas, and it finishes the line of, or continues the line of creativity and pushes people to make something new. You know what I mean?
That was the jizz flute.
That jizz flute? I heard it. It was dope. So yeah, man, fucking I think it's dope that he lets people in on the behind the scenes shit and teaches people how he does it and shows that he's just a dude that was geeked out and had these great ideas, got people to give him money for it, and it was on, you know? Anybody could do it.
I like the way that he takes the extra step and makes it a production in itself. You know, the making of the production is the production of itself. You know, it's like he really cared about everything, the entire process. You know, I don't think it was all like just for marketing or a sales pitch, you know. Like, I think it was like he wanted everything documented from start to finish.
Yeah.
Every aspect of everything. So he had it to back his shit up later and to say and to show the world, like, look at what I made possible before any of this shit was possible. And, like, showing people, like, you know, if you're creative enough that you could fucking build your own universe, and really empowered people by doing all these things. Like, yeah, he probably made some money off of this somewhere, but I think that was menial. You know what I mean? Like, it really had no fucking no meaning whatsoever. I think it's just a fact of documenting the process is like what the importance was. He had, remember when we did the Christmas special, and he like would give those to, like, how he gave that to Carrie as a gift, and like other people like Mark Hamill and shit, and like,
yeah,
you know, like he did things for the cast and like everybody involved, so they probably had more work, and like, you know, and like got to keep jobs for longer periods of time. Like, he kept fucking people employed, and like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like he built this giant. out of nothing and like took care of so many people in the process and probably built like such a fucking crazy like family that he just had to take care of, you know? It's like, it's pretty intense, dude. It's crazy everything that comes along with it. It's crazy like when you think about the sheer like numbers of people it takes to do this shit and like the volume of work that it takes and like all the shit that went along into it, especially like after the fucking lifetime of fucking thought he put into it before making it, you know? It's like, it's a trip to see. It's definitely cool that we got to be in on the process, you know, get to view it and still have it out there. Thank God for YouTube.
Yep, exactly. And we still get to live the Star Wars line, you know what I mean? We still get to witness new movies dropping, new universes being, you know, like new parts of the universe being explored, new characters and planets being introduced to us. So it's dope, man. It's crazy. I'm trying to find out when he started writing the books. And I want to say he was writing books before he made the first movie.
I'm not sure, but I would assume he had to have written the fucking stories.
Yeah, written something out. But, you know, it's crazy that he created all this shit just from his mind and was like, this is how this is going to work. And fucking had an answer for everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I guarantee that he reached out to some people, like when he had questions about stuff, he probably reached out to like professors or scientists because, you know, he went to like good schools and shit. And he was very well connected. So he had access to people. If he wanted to reach somebody, he could just call on them and be like, I'm curious about how this works.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they would give him like information on what they know. And then he could like build his fucking off of that or whatever, you know, like, because there's no way that he just blindly came up with all this shit, you know?
Yeah, well, he might have just had like had a lot of mushrooms one day or a lot of acid, and
he just figured it out.
And went to this place, figured it out, saw the whole map of the universe, was given to him, like
tattooed on his eyeball.
Yeah, like maybe it was DMT, you know what I mean? And it was a crazy long journey, and then yeah, he did that, made the universe, and then didn't want kids to think that you needed drugs to be creative. So he left that part out and was like, I just came up with this because I'm a geek. But instead it really was, you know, because he was on drugs and he didn't want the kids to know.
Yeah.
That could be possible.
Yeah.
You never know. So I'm trying to find out when these books are made, but Wikipedia has all the books presented here in universe chronological order as opposed to real world release dates. So
what does that mean?
It says
it just says like what order of what book came out first. Yeah, but I mean like when did the book come out?
And it says the year. It doesn't even have, it's not the order of releases, it's the order of the time in the universe. So it has BBY and then ABY. So what do you think that stands for? It's like before Christ and after Christ, but before something and after something, BY.
Baby Yoda.
Yeah, it could be Baby Yoda. So apparently the book started at 25,000 before Baby Yoda and go all the way to 45 Baby Yoda after Baby Yoda. So Baby Yoda was getting old. Old Yoda.
A birth of Yoda, probably.
Birth of Yoda?
Okay.
Do you think so? It could be, right? The birth of Yoda.
Probably.
Man, it really should say on Wikipedia.
Is that what Christ stands for? Birth of Christ?
Yeah, BC.
Oh no, what does that mean?
Birth of Christ. Or no, it
Before
doesn't.
Christ?
It doesn't mean birth of Christ. It means before something. Hold on. I'm going to look it up. because I know that it's not.
BBY. What is BBY?
Yeah, we're gonna find it out. This is an episode of Mikey Booyah looks things up.
Yeah, because now I'm fucking curious. I want to know.
Okay, so I want to say that it's okay. Right here it says before Christ, and then AD is after death. It's an abbreviation for.
It stands for before the Battle of Yavin. Or
Before-
Yavin.
Oh, all right, that makes sense.
ABY stands for after the Battle of Yavin.
Okay.
And then the Battle of Yavin ended with the destruction of the first Death Star. Or if you prefer, the end of Star Wars, A New Hope.
Man, that's dope.
The Battle of Yavin, or Yavin. How's that pronounced? Why doesn't it say that, motherfucker?
So I found out that BC and AD do stand for before Christ and after death, and they recently tried to change it to Common Era. Change it to
CE.
Yeah, CE, and then BC before Common Era,
That makes sense.
and then Common Era.
Always trying to church it up.
Yeah, because they're like, look, what if I don't believe in Christ? Because I think it's weird that only a certain amount of people, that there's all these different religions and only, a little tiny portion of them acknowledge that Jesus Christ existed, but everybody agrees that it's 2016 years after the death of Christ.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, it's old ways that we need to change by changing it to CE.
Yeah, if that matters.
Let's just change it. Let's just change it to BY.
I think it's just
The Battle of Yemen, or whatever. We're gonna get all the Star Wars fanboys. Are
BC
gonna
could
be
easily
pissed
stand for before counting.
Yeah, it could be. And then we started counting 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
that's what it stands for. And then it got Christ washed.
Yep.
Got butterscotch mailed.
Bastards.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're done rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed that documentary. I know we did. It was dope. I learned a lot.
Yeah, it's always cool geeking out on the Star Wars.
So we'll see you guys next week. Have a good rest of your weekend, bitch.
Peace, bitches.
Natural Habitat Recording.